Hey Internet, it's RJ. Welcome back. Thanks for tuning into the show today. Now today's episode, I'm known for signing up for anything that'll pay me a buck, but what are some of the offers that I won't sign up or at least think twice about before signing up? So that's exactly what we're going to cover today. So of course, if that sounds interesting to you, then go ahead, press the subscribe button and let's get to work. Now, I am known as a self-proclaimed degenerate when it comes to signing up for things. I will sign up for any account that'll pay me. I just recently signed up for one that gave me $5. I think the lowest account I've ever signed up for was $1. And we're talking about not only credit cards, where I'll sign up for the Venmo card, the Rocket Mortgage card, a Huntington card for $100, you name it. At the time of taping, my record for approvals is like 9, 7, and 1. The one being a push, being a pop-up jail for American Express was 9 approvals, 7 denials, and I'm taping this at the end of May of 2024. So the halfway part of the year, 9, 7, and 1. On the bank promotional side, you may know me from Run on the Bank, which is our second channel where we talk all about bank promotions. I've opened 50 accounts a year. I'm at 24 or so right now at the halfway point. The goal being to get $10,000 from the banks every year in bank promotions, $5,000 in credit cards. So I have no shame. I'm a degenerate. I will sign up for everything. I think I rest my case there. But there are still some offers that even I don't sign up for. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't sign up for these. These are just things that I try to avoid, and I'll tell you why as we go through them, then we'll close with some final thoughts. So the first one is loan offers. And now I'm not opposed to doing these. They just have never gone well for me. So you'll see something like SoFi had a while back, like a personal loan. You take a personal loan of $5,000 and they'll pay you like $300 or $400. Now I don't care about a hard pull. I eat hard pulls like Skittles, which I really need to find a new comparison because I don't even care for Skittles. I'm more of an M&M's person myself, but you get the point. I take a lot of hard pulls and it doesn't really affect me. It doesn't matter to me. So I did it. I think it was back from John Run on the Bank. He referred me, I referred him, so we were trying to double up. And generally what you do is you take the loan, and because you don't really need the loan, you take it and you pay it back very quickly, like the next day or same day. And in our opinion, you satisfy the requirements. But the problem is that the products aren't really set up to work that way, and it never goes well because you paid it back too fast. But if you wait too long, you're taking on too much interest, because they're personal loans, so they're a higher interest rate. And so I did get SoFi to pay me, but it took months of back and forth and calling and this, that, and the other. In hindsight, I probably should have gone the CFPB route, but even then, you're doing it not the way they intended to do it. So those just don't really work out as well. Another one was this company called Dave. It was like, take a $5 cash advance and we'll give you like $10 or something. Again, I signed up for everything. And so you take the cash advance of $5, you try to pay it back, but then they have you can't pay it back, I think for at least 5 days. You pay it back, and for whatever reason, it just didn't work out as well. And I knew that one wasn't going to work when I tried it, but I just had to try it, because you can't leave money on the table. So it's not that I won't ever do another loan one. It's just they seem, when you're trying to do them like this and do the quick turnaround, like I gave you your money back, pay me, they're really just not set up to work that way. So I would, not really get into those too much. Another one kind of adjacent to these is, you got to be careful in some of the terms because sometimes they have products that are really set up to be like credit builder programs. And of course, they'll take anyone. Sometimes those things can code weird. It hasn't happened to me, but I've heard things, certain stories. So if it's like a credit builder type product, I generally try to stay away from. I think there's like a credit building debit card that was paying $20, but anytime you see credit builder in the name, I definitely just stay away from it because it's not intended for the bonus, and I just don't think it's going to work particularly well. So I would group those in there as well. Now, if I check my list, a safe one, but one that I don't really find worth it is like IRA brokerages type bonuses. To a degree. So these things are really meant, usually they have high deposit requirements because it's a brokerage account. And the easiest way for many of us to do this is by rolling over, transferring from your Schwab or your Vanguard to your Fidelity or whatever you're hitting the offer for, right? And, you really, to do that, you want to invest the money, because you'll see you got to deposit $100,000 or something to get $300, $400, $500 back. But, it ends up being more hassle than it's worth because transferring the funds always isn't easy. Sometimes the place doesn't really want to work for you. You got to cash out, liquidate to transfer over, then reinvest in what you had in it. It can cause issues. A lot of times there's some fees associated with transferring at times. And really these investments aren't really meant to be like bought and sold like that quickly it doesn't work out as well. And because these accounts are meant to be keepers. So plus a lot of my stuff is with Merrill Edge, Merrill Lynch, and I've got like $180,000 in there. If I cashed it out, to go after a few different bonuses, then I'm losing my preferred rewards. And it's just not really worth moving it around unless you're usually going to stay, which again, that's how the product is intended. Now I will do the easier ones, like a lot of these bonuses sometimes will have like a $1,000 tranche or a $10,000 tranche, and you should invest it, but I might, but I just kind of throw it over there for the easy tranche. But some of the higher up ones, I just don't personally think it's worth transferring, rolling over back and forth all the time. It just doesn't really work out that well. The one caveat I will say is, you can try it if you're trying to do like the backdoor Roth or something and you're about to transfer it over. That could work, but again, even then, with the 2024 CAFR contribution would be like $7,000, so it's probably not enough to even hit a promotional offer. So for those, I tend to just say, I'm good with what I have, and if it's an easy one, then I'll do it for like $100, which can be like a 10% return sometimes. But I don't really mess with those too much because of that reason. There's nothing wrong with them. It becomes kind of a hassle. Alternative forms of investing or anything from think like a lending club, lending tree, stuff like that. Masterworks, well, that's the one everyone's always plugging. You're still investing, but you're investing in arts, REITs, real estate trusts. And again, there's nothing wrong with those. It's just more so one, I'm here for the cash. And a lot of times, if you sign, so for example, it was concrete or cement or whatever. I can't specifically remember the company's name, but John, Bank of Account Bonus Central, John made a video on it, and the bonus didn't really read right. They wrote it weird in his defense, but it's like, hey, throw some money, open an account, we'll give you, I don't know, $50, $100. So a lot of people opened accounts, and I think Concrete's headquarters, they're like, hey, we got a lot of new accounts, a lot of new money, and they probably searched and found his offer, and it turns out you can't just cash out the money. Of course you just can't cash out the money. So they actually updated the app to allow for users to close the account themselves, which is very rare. Normally you have to write in or phone into customer service rep. They put out a presser that said, hey, because of misinformation, you have to invest the money. You can't just take it. And I'm really just here for the cash. So a lot of these times, these companies, rightfully so, aren't just going to give you money to let you take. They've mostly learned their lesson. So if you do these real estate trusts, they're like, hey, we'll give you a $50 credit to invest. And you're like, well, you sure you can invest it and sell it, but usually there's lockup periods for that. And it's something else I have to keep an eye on. And then I'm not going to want to take a loss. I want to get $50. You've got to pay for it when you pay attention to when you sell it. So it can be a hassle. The same with Masterworks. And I think someone sent me a promo where they're like, hey, we'll give you $200. And in one half the terms it says, we'll give you a $200 voucher to invest. But then I read a blog that says, well, they'll mail you a check for $200. I don't feel like dealing with that. Now, I will do some, we did a video on a company called Evergreen Money, which was liquid treasuries, which is basically, I wouldn't call treasury bills, T-bills, an alternative form of investing, right? But we've also never seen a liquid treasuries account, which is the idea that they would invest your money in T-bills, but then you could also pull the money whenever you want it. Normally T-bills, they have, maturity dates. So you can't just cash them out whenever you want. But they were paying cash, $250, and they did pay. So if you're paying cash, I will give it a shot. But these vouchers and stuff like that, I'm not really interested in messing around with the alternative form of investment. I just want the cash. There's also, I'm not gonna say it's like a risk. You just really have to understand more about these platforms and these apps. And a lot of times they don't do the level of explanation that I would want. Not nearly in how the service works, but more so how am I going to get paid? When am I going to get paid? Things like that. The other thing I would put in there in alternative forms of investment is all the betting apps, the gaming apps. I have no problem with the gaming industry whatsoever. FanDuel, DraftKings, all those guys. But a lot of them have just patched their offers now so that you have to play through your bonus, which means you've got to sign up, get it, bet it on something, hope you don't lose your shirt, and then you can cash it out. And I don't really feel like doing the extra work. Plus, when you download these apps, they also, because gaming's not allowed everywhere, they have to run some check on your phone, like your location, which I don't really care for that. I sell enough of my information, right? So I tend not to do those because I don't really feel like playing through the bonus and doing extra research to figure out who I should bet on. And I'm going to be mad if I lose the bonus, even though it was free money. But I tend not to do those. I've signed up, but I don't think I actually did it. Travel, weirdly enough. Travel, it's just not something I value a ton, so you won't see me signing up for a bunch of travel cards. I have in the past. I've had the Marriott card, before. I had the Delta Platinum. But right now, I'm more cash. There's nothing against travel cards. Travel cards are arguably more popular than the cash back stuff that I go for, but you really just won't see me. But I do, to a detriment though, because I know there's a memo in my email box right now from the card program I'm with, and a lot of times they'll send memos and have like the card's a travel card, like I don't even pay attention to it, which is kind of a detriment to the people who watch Run on the Bank and the blog, because I should still be talking about it because they can earn money. So sometimes I try to work those in there, but I'm just not really interested in travel points right now. I find it easier to go after just cash, so I don't do that. I do that as much, but those you should be fine if you wanted to. Now, the last one I will say is probably most agreeable but controversial, and that is those brokerage accounts, Webull, Moomoo, those guys. I just feel like an idiot saying Moomoo. I don't even know why they picked that name, but I don't do those. I have accounts for each, and the reason I have accounts is because they were going around asking anyone with a pulse who could fog a mirror, who hosted a channel, if they wanted to be in their affiliate program. And originally I said sure, but then I didn't care for the apps. Now, I've never made a trade on either of them, so don't take this as a review, but it just screamed like, look at me, I'm a trader. I was like, I don't care about this. And number two, one of them just wanted to pay me out in like stock. I was like, I can't just buy random shares. Like, I want to just cash. And they're like, no, you can sell them. I was like, yeah, but what about capital gains? They're like, but you can sell them. I was like, well, that's not, repeating what I said isn't helpful. So anyways, why I don't do them is because I really don't like the guessing game. Like, you and I are engaging in a sale. A promotional offer is nothing more than a way for you to buy my information, and I'm fine with that. Again, I sold it for $1, whatever. But I don't like the guessing game of 2 free stocks, 10 free stocks. Tell me what I'm going to get for giving you this information, then I will make the decision if it's worth it. I really don't want to do the guessing game of what I'm going to get. I know someone won somewhere, got a Tesla share. Great, good for them. That doesn't help me. Now, I did the Robinhood one when it came out, but I actually wanted the brokerage account, so, it helped, but I remember getting like a share of Ford or something stupid. I'm like, yeah, $10. Like, it's not helpful. It's not misleading, but it feels misleading, because, you get these random shares of stuff and now you gotta hold on to a year versus capital gain. So I don't personally do those because I don't like the guessing game. There's nothing wrong with them though, other than I wish everyone would do them so everyone would just stop asking for 2 free stocks. So let me close on this. Everything we covered, there's nothing wrong with any of the offers we covered, and the tenet of the channel is you should always be paid to open a promotional account or open a bank account or a banking product in general. So if you have need for some of these products or you want them, I think that's fine. If you like Webull, that's fine. You should do it. If you want to try it, you should get the one that gives you the most amount of free stock. Right? If you like alternative forms of investing like REITs, you should do it. I have 3 houses. I don't need virtual houses. Enough goes wrong with the 3, right? Like, I just don't. But there's nothing wrong against that form of investing in those platforms. You just got to understand that for me, I'm here for the cash, and that's my goal. I'm not necessarily here to try out a new platform. But there are times when I have wanted to literally try out a new platform, like Robinhood, and I got something for it, which is great. But it's just important to note that I'm not trashing these offers. I mean, I was pretty mean on the last one, but I'm not trashing them. And again, if you want them, you should try them. That's why intro offers exist, to entice you to try a thing. So by all means, try them, use them, report back, let me know. On a lot of these, especially the neo fintechy ones, definitely do your homework though before you use them and you commit to actually using them as a company. And understand the terms and what's actually required. Will they pay you out? Is it a voucher? What's the lockup period? Things that we try to cover on the bank, on Run on the Bank and profitablecontent.com. But again, there's nothing wrong with doing any of these. Just know what you're getting into and base it on what's your tolerance for not only, it's a less of a tolerance for the risk. The more of it is a tolerance for annoyance. Honestly, of annoyance of like, well, how can I get my money back? When I did Evergreen Money, I was prepared to be greatly annoyed, but they actually paid out. There was a little hiccup with moving the money, but it sorted itself out and it was fine. So when you do these, you got to go into it knowing like, this isn't Wells Fargo or Bank of America or Chase. even those guys can sometimes give you headaches, but this might be a little bit of a headache to get paid, especially when you're not doing it the way they were intending to do it, like the loans and things like that. So again, not to discourage anyone from doing anything. You should get as much money as you can. These are just the ones that I tend not to do, and those are the reasons why, but I'm still a degenerate, and hopefully you're a degenerate too, because we get along smashingly. I have a Discord group from channel members for Degenerate, so feel free to check that out with the join button down below. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. So, of course, if you liked it, drop me a thumbs up down below. If you found it particularly interesting, consider subscribing to the channel. So we're posting content just like this every single week, of course, every single Sunday on all the news you can use in the week that wasn't credit and finance, and of course, every single day over on ProfitableContent.com, the channel's blog. Speak of the devil, we not only have the latest news stories, we have bank promotions, we have some brokerages and alternative forms of investment as well. There's a limit though, and we've got the tried and true credit card offers as well. You know, start with the classic stuff. Once you start to run out of stuff that we have, then maybe get fancy and out there. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you very soon in the next one.